Good lift there for Reisenauer at 127 kilos.
Glad to see Brian come out there and make that first attempt. I mean, he has a total now in his first World Championships, and that's the first accomplishment. Now we have to see about adding onto that total.
Sitting at 232. I mean, we've seen Brian do as much as 239. So a little bit of aggressiveness, perhaps some solid technique continuing, and maybe we'll see him north of 240. He'll get a bit of a breather here right now. 130 kilos is going to be the weight called for Manueli Tulo of Fiji.
And like Brian, Manueli made 1 out of 3 in his in the snatch, and is 2 kilos behind Brian.
So Tulo opening up with 130. This is somewhat conservative for him. He tends to make his openers, so.
Oh, this is tough right here. Good.
Professional lift there from an experienced lifter, and by tough, take us through what you were seeing.
So anytime you stumble on the recovery of the clean, it is going to take away from your likelihood of success in the jerk. That's why it's really important in training to practice these really efficient cleans and standing up as quickly as you can to conserve as much energy as you can, so you have that energy to make the jerk.
And in this case, he did step forward on the clean when he recovered, so he did a good job.
Did a great job
with the jerk to not continue forward and to, make use of the limited real estate that he had on the platform there. So a good lift for Tulo at 130.
And Brian is in a good position here to keep his place above Manueli.
Yeah, in the snatch, we did see these 3 lifters, Manueli, Concha, who is out now with 131 for his first attempt, and Brian, mixing it up in that competition. And you're going to see that, I think, again with this group. And Brian is in position where he could, place ahead of all 3 of them. Now we are looking at Marcos Antonio Rojas Concha of Peru, first attempt, 131 kilos.
Good lift. In weightlifting, there's only 3 medals, but there could be battles at every place. So, what we're seeing here is, although none of the lifters that are coming out now are in position to make any medals, they're in a great position to battle each other.
Yeah.
So, which is one of the things that makes weightlifting great. It's not just who wins, but it's to fight. And you can fight if you're in last place, or you can fight in first place. It doesn't matter. You still have to fight.
And in this case, we do have this group of 3 that are bunched together, and you will see the game play out. And in the mix here would be the leader of the group, I think, coming out of the snatch is Azroy Hazal Mohammed. And he snatched 111, but mixing it now in this group, in the clean and jerk, we can see lifters who may have had a little better snatch drop down the rankings a bit.
Right.
And Mohammed has opened with 130 in the past and been successful. 132, 140 is the most he's opened with, actually. So this is pretty conservative here at 132.
Very slow off the floor. Yeah, I thought there was something wrong with that as soon as he picked it off the floor.
So take us through it on the replay. Let us know what you saw.
It's just, it was really slow as he came off the floor. And generally, you have to accelerate that bar. So it just didn't look right. It didn't look right to me as soon as he lifted it. If you're really slow off the floor, you have to then make up for it in a sense in the explosion, and very often that's not going to happen. You have to exert too much energy in that explosion, and very often it's going to lead to an unsuccessful lift.
All right, so now we are back to Brian Reisenauer. Second attempt, 132 kilos.
5 kilo jump is a nice jump. All right, well, he's got the shakes. Yeah, it looked like he was going out. So he did a good job moving the bar in the clean. It just looks like he lost his, he started to see the little birds. Which is very often you'll see a lifter shake as they as they're trying to set for the jerk, and sometimes that means lack of oxygen.
The lights are going out.
The lights are going out.
And, you know, in this case here with Brian, that is a grinder of a clean.
Right.
And a terrific effort. But like we saw in the snatch, that overhead position is going to be a challenge. So we'll see what he has in store for us with his third attempt. He will be back in a bit. But now we've got Azroy Hazal Muhammad, second attempt, 132 kilos, got pinned on his opener with this same weight.
So I'd like to see him move the barbell a little faster off the floor. It's going to help him stand up easier with the clean. That's just the way he lifts. Well, same thing. He did the same exact thing in his first attempt. I don't know if he's hurt or just not having a good day.
Bar stays close.
Yeah, for sure.
Turnover is good. The leg strength is what's not there.
Not good leg strength, which would show in moving the barbell from the floor and in the recovery. So I would assume his front squat is not too much more than his clean.
All right, so now we are back to Brian Reisenauer for his third and final attempt. Has a success with 127, currently sitting on a 232 kilo total. If successful, this will move him to 237 on the day. 2 for 3 in the clean and jerk. Let's see what happens here. That second attempt clean was very taxing.
He's got to make that easier. Oh, boy.
Maybe no touch. All right, so no lift there for Reisenauer. He will finish the day with that 232 kilo total. Let's take a look at this again. Didn't touch, but he lost his position.
Yeah.
And there's no getting out of that.
No, in the clean, it's very unforgiving. If you lose that position, you're not going to recover from it.
All right, so now a do-or-die spot for Azroy Hazal Muhammad. Unsuccessful in his first 2 attempts. He is going to need this to post a total.
I don't know. I mean, he's got to do something different because he's done the same thing the first 2 lifts and has been unsuccessful the same way. He's got to stand right up.
This will give him a 243 kilo total.
Stand up. Stand up. Come on. Not a good showing there. It's too bad. It's odd to see an athlete not be able to stand up, especially in that first couple of attempts. Third attempt, sometimes you'll see the weight's real heavy. You'll have a hard time standing up, but not usually in the first 2 attempts.
Well, I think in general we see less missed cleans than in the past. But, you know, this session in the clean and the men's 56 kilo category, we're starting off the clean and jerk with a similar theme as the snatch, and that theme is a sea of red. And we've already got our first bomb out in the clean and jerk. This is now the 3rd lifter who has bombed out, and it's, you know, something that we hope changes right now. And Jose Braki, this is interesting, is opening with 135 in the clean and jerk. He is our bronze medalist in the snatch. And he's out pretty early in this competition.
What's his best?
140.
All right, so this is a reasonable
143,
opener.
excuse me.
Okay. It's a good lift. I mean, he's in a situation where he might not medal in the clean and jerk and still medal in the total.
That's right.
Which is very odd.
Yeah, it can happen, but what that means is solid jerk, by the way. What that means is that when that happens, your fate is generally not in your hands.
Right.
It's the result of misses or decisions made by other lifters. If you have a big enough lead,
right,
it can still hold up, but usually you will get hunted down by somebody when you're, less than 10 kilos ahead,
right,
in an entire field of 11 behind you. Somebody is going to clip you most of the time.
Yep.
All right, so now here's Tulo, 135 kilos second attempt, sitting on a 233 kilo total. It's a 5 kilo jump here.
Strong clean. All right, well, we'll see what happens there.
I think that'll work. With delay here, good lift.
Okay.
In terms of the clean, this was better than his opener.
Yes, it was.
135 kilos remains in the bar, please.
A little bit of movement of the arms when the bar is overhead, and you don't really know what the jury's going to do. I mean, what the judges are going to do.
Yeah, that little bit of shakiness. There was no clear press out or bending of the elbow, so that was absolutely a good lift, and I'm glad it held up.
But I've seen that being called.
Agreed. Yeah.
As well.
All right, so now here is Marco Rojas Concha of Peru. Second attempt. Concha made his opener with 131 kilos. He has made as much as 136.
His best is 136.
Yeah.
Great clean. Very good.
That'll work. Good lift there for Concha at 135, and that is the most he's ever tried or ever taken on a second attempt, so I think we will see a personal best effort from him on a third.
I would predict, I'm saying about 137, I think would be
good call.
Yeah. I don't know if he's got much more than 137 in him.
We shall see.
We shall see.
And right now, 136 is being announced, or the clock is running on Tulo, but this is his automatic increase, so
that's not going to happen.
Rocky right now is sitting on the lead in both total and clean and jerk. 253 kilos. 2 attempts to go for him. He is currently sitting on a 138. Wouldn't be shocked, I don't know, if you think about Bracci and what he did, maybe a 3 kilo jump. Possible.
Possible.
And that'll give him a bit of a weight because we have a couple of lifters still looking for 137. First being Habib De La Salas, and he has not withdrawn.
Yes.
So if you recall, De La Salas did not look like he was feeling so good in the snatch, didn't really get under any of the 3 attempts, timed out on 2 of them. I think it would have been a reasonable expectation to not see him take an attempt in the clean and jerk, but he's still in this game, at least in the clean and jerk. He has not withdrawn from the competition as far as we can tell.
Number 3, 138. Yes.
So Manueli's gone up to 138.
And I'm thinking about, yeah, he's moved up, so that means 137 is going to stay on for Concha. He took 37, not 38, and it looks like he's going to stay out for this. There are 2 Colombians in this group. De La Salas has bombed out. I'm not so sure we're going to see him take a clean and jerk attempt, but he may not withdraw.
And give his teammates some time.
They can play the game with the clock and you know, use his presence as needed to either burn other clocks on competition or give Berna, his countrymate, a breather if they need it.
That's fair.
So they may not, while he may not lift, they may not be so quick to pull him out.
That's a good point.
All right, so now Marcos Antonio Rojas Concha of Peru, third and final attempt. 103 kilos on his second attempt in the snatch. He's already made 131 and 135 in the clean and jerk.
Good clean. Oh.
This could be our first borderline call. And it went his way.
All right. Yeah, I think that was about as much as he's going to be making today. So.
And it was a good call, so a good performance for Concha. 5 for 6, 240 kilo total.
His opening attempt in the clean and jerk. 138 kilograms. Borachi to follow.
Oof. That was close. That was close.
All right, so now it looks like Siraj Al Salim, 1 minute clock is running, 138 kilos.
Siraj better not, he better tighten up when he catches this clean, or else he's going to wind up on his behind.
138 kilos is the opening attempt for him. He was successful with 112 kilos on his third attempt in the snatch.
Wow, all right. I wasn't expecting that. Beautiful.
I was expecting that.
Beautiful
He has
lift.
a great overhead position.
Yes.
Very aggressive punch out.
Strong. Great lift.
His best ever is 140. And I think we've got a good chance of seeing him exceed that with the 2 attempts he has remaining. And now we are back to Josue Brachi of Spain. Currently at 253 kilo total. Quite a bit of ground for the rest of this field to make up on him. But he is out early in the clean and jerk.
Nice job. That was a good lift. That was a professional lift.
And that'll move him up to 256 kilos. And I guess you can consider him a snatch specialist if you want for the purpose of this discussion. And what he's doing with this track is playing it his way.
Yes.
And laying it out to the field. If you can catch me, come get it. Otherwise, I'm just going to do what I can. And we'll see if this holds up. He does have another attempt in hand. He has elected, Brachi that is, has elected 140 kilos, and now we have Manueli Tulo of Fiji for his third and final attempt. He has been successful on his first 2. If he makes this, he'll be 3 for 3 in the clean and jerk. There's a down signal. Did they see an elbow touch?
I think the bar slid.
Dirty clean.
Yeah. I think.
So take a look at this turnover when he hits the bottom position. I think you're right, Sean. I think he might have been called for a double clean on this. Right there. You know, that's pretty slight.
That's not, I don't know if I, was there an elbow touch?
There wasn't. I didn't see an elbow touch. Yes.
Okay.
That has to be what it is.
Yeah.
And I did not see it. That left elbow looks like it caught the mid-thigh there, and the down signal came immediately, so the referees did see it.
Because the bar did slide down a little bit, which you're not supposed to do, but it was really slight.
Yeah, so what you're referring to there is when the bar slides down the shoulders a little bit, if the lifter hikes it up, from the position from where they caught it, they can be called.
Right.
Down on that, the term for it is double clean, but even in the rule book, they do refer to that as a dirty clean.
Really, that's what they were.
Yeah, it is written in the rule book as in quotes, dirty clean.
All right. I did not know that.
Yeah. All right, here's Jose Brachi of Spain, third and final attempt, 140 kilos.
Very nice.
Very nice.
I like this guy.
5 for 6, 258 kilo total.
All business. I like this guy. Good.
Current leader, and he has drawn the line in the sand.
All right.
Excellent day for Brachi of Spain. So now it looks like
Number 8.
De La Salas has made a second change.
And Bernard Gonzalez is the lifter. Carlos Andres Bernard Gonzalez from Colombia.
142 kilos has been called for Carlos Andres Bernard Gonzalez. We do not see him in the entryway.
So Brocky's probably going to wind up being fourth.
You think so?
Yeah.
Ming Moon,
Number 10. 144.
we shall see.
Yes.
They gave Berna another change. 144 kilos is where he's going. So 143 kilos is going to be called for Witsun Ming Moon of Thailand. We have 6 lifters remaining in this competition. We have seen 5 of them.
Yes.
And with Brachi being out early in the clean and jerk, this is going to start getting interesting.
Yes. Because now Ming Moon is going to, if he comes out, okay, never mind. So he had
No, Ming Moon just moved up to 150.
yeah.
Yeah. So he is playing for it, and if he is successful, if 150 is where he goes, just to put that in perspective, with his 115 kilo snatch, that would give him 265,
Yeah.
which is way more than he needs right now, to be honest with you, to get past Brachi. So that's an interesting choice. And now we have De La Salas. Oh, excuse me, Berna. De La Salas has been called at 144. I'm sorry, 143. Al Salim on deck, also looking for 143, and Berna in the hole at 144. And they're letting this clock run down on De La Salas. So the game is on with Colombia. They're just playing around. And what this does is it will move De La Salas into a second attempt now that is technically a missed attempt. It will bring Al Salim onto the platform. If Siraj Al Salim misses this,
We can put him right back out.
De La Salas, the coaches for De La Salas will immediately move him up to 144 and burn Al Salim's clock.
Thank you.
So if Al Salim wants a rest,
You better make this lift.
he needs to make this.
And judging from what he did on his first attempt, I don't think that'll be a problem.
If successful, and this is an interesting choice here, if he's successful, this will give him 255, still 3 kilos short of Brachi.
Oh! Oh, he's in trouble. They're going to put him right back out there.
And this is a direct benefit to Carlos Berna. No, they just withdrew De La Salas. They just drew. There are dashes across the screen. He's not going to get introduced. They could have just burned Al Salim's clock.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Instead, they gave him a 2-minute clock. The announcement hasn't come, but we're looking at the board, and there are 2 dashes for Habib De La Salas, which means he is out of the competition. If they would have waited literally 10 more seconds,
Right.
we'd be on a 1-minute clock for Siraj Al-Salim.
Got to wonder about that call.
And the only way that makes sense is if Carlos Berna wanted more time.
Right.
You see the two Colombian lifters sitting next to each other. Al-Salim seems to be okay now. He just looks like he wasn't able to, get himself ready for a clean and jerk. Hopefully we will see him soon. But the game is on for Carlos Berna. Made a 117 snatch on his third attempt. That was good for fourth coming into the clean and jerk. If he makes his 144 when we see him in a bit, he will be in the game for a medal, no question about it. But now we are on the third attempt of Siraj Al-Salim of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. This is his final attempt. If successful, he will finish with a 255 kilo total. It will not be enough to move ahead of Brachi.
Much better. All right. Well, boy, I tell you, the way he looked on that first attempt.
It looked unstoppable, right? Sometimes it doesn't happen, though. And Al-Salim will be credited with his opener of 138. Does he split back? No, he just doesn't really get under it. So no lift there. 2 for 6. Excuse me. Yeah, 2 for 6. 2 for 3 in the snatch. 1 for 3 in the clean and jerk. Finishes the day 250 kilo total. Currently has him sitting in second. And now here is Carlos Berna. If successful with this opening attempt of 144 kilos, he will move into the lead overall. He is one of 4 lifters remaining in this group. All of them are on opening attempts.
Easiest opener.
And that's going to prove to be a very costly miss. And the reason why is that at 144 kilos, he is going to have to follow himself another 2-minute clock. But Witun Mingmoon of Thailand snatched 115. He was 2 kilos behind Berna coming into the clean and jerk. And he is sitting on a 150 opener. So he is really forcing Berna's hand, and Berna has to make this lift. And if he wants to keep Mingmoon at bay, he's going to need to take a 4 or a 5 kilo jump off a make here. And he'll still be done before Mingmoon opens. So,
and here's where that the withdrawal
of De La Salle
really, because he would have had if he burnt Al-Salim with one of the attempts, he'd have one left, and he would have been able to use it to give him some rest.
That's correct.
So
and he doesn't have that benefit right now when he needs it.
Right. So I really question that as a team. That wasn't the best use of attempts.
Right. So Berna, even though this is his second attempt, if he wants to play for the medal stand, I would call this a must lift. This is a crucial attempt in this competition. So 144 kilos for Carlos Berna.
And that first attempt didn't look so great. So what's his best?
52.
So
but he did that back in 2010.
Oh, well, that's a whole career ago. That's better. yeah. That was fine. That was good.
Yeah, and you know, my recollection of Berna is that his jerk is awesome. I mean, short dip, great punch out. So that first miss was kind of a surprise. Look at this. I mean, just perfect. And now what this does is allow Berna to play around with his third attempt. Now has 261. Ming Moon has dropped down to 147. This will move him ahead of Berna. So Ming Moon played the game right from a drop-down position, which you see more of, where he elected to take where he changed his opening attempt up to 150 to see what Berna would do, and then dropped in while Berna was on the platform.
It's going to force Berna to move to 54, I believe.
Yes.
Which,
I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. What's going on here? I guess that's what's going on. All right.
All right, good lift, 147 kilos for Wittoon Ming Moon of Thailand.
Now Berna's in a tough spot, man. He's 154.
It's a 10-kilo jump.
That's. I mean, that's a.
No. 150. He doesn't need that much. He's got two. He's down by 1 kilo right now.
1 kilo. Sorry,
But he's already elected to take a 6-kilo jump.
Right.
To, I think, force Ming Moon's hand a little bit, and that's an interesting play.
Yeah.
Because if successful here with this 150, it will move him to a 267.
266.
266, excuse me. It will put him 4 kilos ahead of Wittoon Ming Moon, which means Ming Moon would need to take enough to total out to 267, which means
53.
he would need 152, which is what he's got right now.
52 or 53?
52. 152, 115.
Yes, 52, right.
So Berna currently in second with a 261 kilo total. This will move him into the lead. And give Ming Moon of Thailand 2 cracks at knocking Berna off the medal stand.
Good clean.
Good jerk.
Good jerk. All right, game on now.
That is a great job. A 6-kilo jump for Carlos Berna. And he now has a 266-kilo total. And watch this. Just perfect. You were talking earlier about when the bar goes overhead, it needs to just stop.
Yeah.
That's what you got right there out of Carlos Berna. So now, Tak Kim Tuan has dropped down to 150 kilos to open. He is our gold medalist in the snatch. This will obviously move him into the lead in total.
76.
But an interesting choice here. And this opens the door for Tron Lee Kwok Tuan to get back in.
Not for the total.
We'll see.
That wasn't easy. ain't the easiest lift in the world.
But it's also, in looking at it, not outside the norm of where he normally plays on opening attempts. If you look over his history, generally 155 is the most he's ever opened with. He did that in 2014, but 151, 147. At the Olympics where he bombed, he opened with 157, and that didn't go so well. So a 150 opener here with the lead that he had coming out of the snatch might be a pretty good play. But it doesn't lock him up as the winner. Because his countrymate still has 3 attempts, and he's going to come out for his first. We'll see.
So Tron Kwok lowered his opener.
He did. From 157.
157, 156, yeah.
Down to 151 while Tak was on the platform. So 151 kilos first attempt for Tron Lee Kwok Tuan.
So this is a play for second place.
It is. And it puts him in good position for it.
Beautiful.
Right grip.
Nice job. That was a good lift.
That was a message lift.
152, please. 152 kilograms for the second attempt.
Perfect. All right, so Tron Lee Kwok Tuan, 151 kilos.
So this will put him into third over Berna.
This is what Ming Moon needs to guarantee a spot on the podium in both the clean and jerk and the total.
His bar doesn't change speeds, it seems. It's just one speed. Now he's guaranteed himself a bronze medal.
At minimum, with that second attempt, 152 kilo success.
So he needs 4 kilos. He needs to do 156 to take second place.
From Tron Lee Kwok Tuan, who has 2 more attempts, but yeah, he's going to have to play it out for that. In the meantime, it looks like Tak Kim Tuan is going to be called for 153 kilos for his second attempt. This will move him up to 279. And I talked about earlier, hoping to see something in the 290s. And, this is, we're feeling the absences already, I think, in terms of the winning total.
Yeah, but, right, yes.
But it is a good competition. All right, so now, Tak, 153, second attempt.
He's strong.
He is. With that. And with that overhead position, one thing in watching that one, which was better all the way around, I did recall seeing that stiff back leg in the jerk. That's something of a trademark of his. But this 279, where he is now with 279, I would start to say it looks unlikely like he's going to get caught. It looks like he's just got too much ground.
I agree.
With another attempt in hand, and Tron Lee Kwok Tuan coming out right now with 154. I mean, this will move him up to 2 spot.
I mean, Tron's guaranteed second place regardless. If he makes this or miss this, he's still in second place.
Tak,
So
who we just saw.
No, Tron.
Yeah, but don't forget, he can still get caught. Ming Moon.
Oh, yes.
And now Ming Moon is playing this the same way. He jumped all the way up to 156.
He might.
And Tron Le Quoc Tuan is going to have to follow himself.
Yeah, and that didn't look like
A convincing attempt.
Doesn't look like he's got a lot in the tank, but he's got to find a way to come out of this. I mean, there's no pressure on it. Well, actually, there is pressure on him. He's got to make this.
Because now sitting on his, we're down to our final 3 attempts of the competition, and I think everybody would agree at this point it is a battle for second place.
Yeah.
And if Tron does not make this, Ming Moon will take the 156 he's currently slated for.
And right, if he makes that takes second place.
It will give him a 271 kilo total and move him ahead of Tron, who is at 270 right now. So look at it like this. If he makes this 54, he will force Ming Moon to 159, and I don't know that Ming Moon has 159.
But we're going to find out if he makes it.
So this is another crucial attempt in this session. This will not guarantee a silver medal, but it will improve the likelihood of it for Tron Le Quoc Tuan.
This is a huge lift. Yes.
Oh. Rounded out. Halfway up at the sticking point, he just couldn't squeeze through. But boy, did he commit to the bottom on this. Double hop. He was just sitting on 156. He moved to 155. And
that's not the right call, I don't think.
It is not the right call. They have miscalculated it.
Because if he...
270 is done. If he makes this lift, it will give him 270.
Which, and Tron took it, got 270 first.
That's right. It does not move him ahead of Tron. Maybe they don't think he can make the 56. They're taking the weight that he believes he can make.
55, you can make 56. Well, it doesn't matter, but boy, that's a terrible
tactical. Yeah, could be a tactical error there, but the end result is the same. With that miss at 155, Ming Moon will finish with a 267 kilo total, and for now, a silver medal in the clean and jerk. Yes, a silver medal in the clean and jerk and a bronze medal in the total. 156 would have moved him ahead in total, but no decision to do it. Now we are down to our final lift of the competition. It belongs to Tak.
284 if he makes this, which is a good total.
It is, and he is our world champion for 2017. This is a gravy lift. No lift, but a nice effort.
Great effort.
And congratulations to Tak Kim Tuan. You are the gold medalist at the 2017 World Championships. The men's 56 kilo category has come to a close. Bit of a challenge through the session, I think, Sean.
Yeah.
But a fun one, no question about it. Tuan, Tak, walking around for the as a world champion for the first time at the senior level. He has seen the top of the podium before, but never at this meet. So quite an honor for him. And it looks like Tron, his countrymate, who is the silver medalist in the total, having some issues there with his leg. And there's Wittoon Minh Moon, who is the overall bronze medalist.
Good day for Vietnam.
Indeed. Hopefully no serious injury there for Tron, just getting stretched out a bit.
Seems like a little cramped situation.
Get him ready to go get his medals.
Hopefully he has enough legs to stand on top of that podium.
That's right. I got a feeling they'll get him out there.
I have a feeling that you're absolutely right.
So with that, we have brought this session to a close. Here are the final results.
Well, not the cleanest sheet I've ever seen, but we have a world champion, which I don't care how much red is on there. World champion's a world champion. That's
right. This was our first of 15 A sessions that we will see over the week here at the 2017 IWF World Championships. First medals are in the books.
Yep.
The women's 48 kilo category is next. 279 kilo total was enough to get it done. Brian Reisenauer of America, 232 kilos, good for 9th place.
So top 10 in the world is quite an accomplishment. So we're all proud of Brian here at the United States.